Rolling with the triple C, I'ma make them bend the knee. Rolling with the triple C, don't really count the heat.
Take your time, chill. That's right. We're fine. Relax. This is my African brother right here. Let's go. What's up? Let's go. Yeah. What's up?
Get this
gonna do. Yeah, my African brother. What's up?
So before I get started, I just want to give a big shout out to That's Right Jimmy Bars. They sent me a nice little packet. I got some cookies and cream here. I got some, what do I got? I got the citrus burst. I mean, check it out, guys. Ooh, look, they changed their damn little, they changed their cover. And then I got over here some cookies and cream, which happens to be, oh yeah, they changed the graphics on these. That's awesome. Yeah, these are so good. With 7 grams of sugar, 19 grams of protein, gluten-free bars. I mean, guys, you guys make sure to get yo Jimmy on. So thank you, Jimmy. I like to start off with this subject. I know this kind of went viral a little bit, maybe about a week and a half ago. About a week ago, I'm sorry. With Israel Adesanya and Du Plessis with the silent S. You know, of Israel Adesanya going up there and then eventually just kind of just slandering and just, you know, saying the N-word. And I'm not talking about neighbor. You know, of him saying the N-word throughout this whole thing, you know, like the biggest question is how far is too far, you know? And at first I used to think, you know, going pretty far is far, but when something's done, it's done. You know, is Israel Adesanya one of the first guys to do something like that? I mean, we're going back to, you know, the era that really comes to mind is the Mike Tyson era. You know, Mike Tyson, if you really think about it, like, yeah, we want to go Muhammad Ali route, but Muhammad Ali was a guy that was clean. He had humor. He was loved by the people. You know, he was super charismatic. But you would never hear a cuss word come out of Muhammad Ali. And if I did, man, you guys please send it to me and show me. But the guy that really comes to mind is, yeah, the one and only Iron Mike Tyson. I mean, talking about eating children, you know, all praise to Allah and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys remember that time where Mike Tyson called that reporter, hey, I'm going to F you till you love me. See, I can't even say these words no more because they're so piercing to the public. But if you guys want to cut that little clip and watch it right here, you guys will be able to see what I'm saying. When Mike Tyson calls that reporter and tells him he wants to make love to him until he loves him.
Put your mother in a straight jacket, you punk ass white boy. Come here and tell me that if I you in your ass, you punk white boy. You can't touch me. You're not man enough. I eat your asshole alive, you bitch. You hoe. Come and say in my face. You ask for everybody.
And I remember, you know, when I was co-hosting Hot Boxing with Tyson. I remember he came. We started kind of talking about certain things. I remember when the whole Khabib and Conor thing kind of came to mind. I'm just like, and I started talking to Mike, and I think I want to say that I was even there with Khabib, and we were talking about smack talking. Like, how far should you take the trash talk? Like, how much is too much? And I'll never forget it because I really thinking about looking at it through Mike Tyson, through his eyes, and him being a black man. It was like, he's like, listen.
In this business, everything goes. You know, everything goes. Promoting the fight, everything goes.
You know, because this is who Mike is, and this is what he does. Like, he don't care. He's unscripted. You know what I'm saying? He speaks his mind. He's a genuine soul. And he was like, listen, man, everything goes. He's like, everything goes. How far do you want to take your business? You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, the person that's going to really live those repercussions is going to be the person actually saying something. So McGregor was saying something about Khabib's father, you know, deceased father at that time. And this is what kind of like led me from not liking Conor very much because, you know, the people, you know, we respect those who have disease, but I remember being there and it was me, Khabib, and Mike Tyson. Remember, I kind of brought that stuff up, like how far is too far, and you know, this is in front of me and Khabib, and Tyson was like, "Listen, man, listen," and again, he said the N-word. Anything goes. Anything goes. Damn, when he said that, I'm just like, godly. I mean, will I be able to say something like that? Would I be able to live with something like that? I don't think so. So in other words, what I'm trying to say, as much as you guys think that I really don't like Israel personally, because I just don't like him, because he has said some stuff about our country that I don't even want to repeat it because it's just nasty. I just, me being a patriot, me naming my own daughter America. But do I respect him? Do I respect his fight ability? 100%. But do I also believe there's holes where you could beat him? 100%. Anyhow, that's the subject is not about. The subject is about somebody bringing in eyeballs into watching you fight. How far can you take it? Is the N-word? The N-word's almost become a pop culture. Guys, I see white kids saying that to each other. Mexicans say that stuff to each other too. It's become it depends how you say it. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, I guess if you are black, you have the ability to say something like that. And in this instance, you had Israel Adesanya versus Du Plessis, and both of these guys were able to, it's almost like Israel kept saying the N-word. I kind of like Israel now because he holds it down, I guess. I guess he does. There's one speed. I guess I could appreciate that. But he kept saying the N-word to Du Plessis. He's like, you're not African. All right, say this, say this, say this. And Du Plessis ended up just walking away. How far is too far? How far should we take things? But you know what? I'm going to go back and think of what Floyd Mayweather has done. I'm going to go back and think of what Conor McGregor has done. I'm going to go back to think of what Mike Tyson did in the 90s and getting his advice in front of Khabib. And he says, you know what, Henry? Everything goes. In other words, guys, I ain't mad at it. I'm not. At this point, anybody should say anything despite color, race, or creed. If you guys want my honest opinion, everything goes. Whether you're dead or alive, whether you hate or love, if you're in this fight game and if that man can play that art of war through your mind, and it's all about winning, then it is what it is. But I will say this, at the end of the day, the person that's gonna have to live with what they've said is the perpetrator. The person who said it. So, Israel Adesanya, I know a lot of times, I may come off as a hater, maybe just a little bit, but I guess everything goes, man. I mean, at this point, Dana White says whatever he wants. Shit, I say whatever I want. At one point, I was challenging women. I mean, I made it all the way to New York Times, Washington Post. To me, it's just about me being comical, but I guess the political, I had no idea where it was actually going to go to, but it was all in fun, and I was able to kind of draw a lot of attention. That's pretty much what you want. If you can draw eyeballs to whatever it is that you're looking for to get on pay-per-view numbers, people are going to want to watch and see Israel Adesanya lose because of that matter. He will have his hands, and he will have his haters, but either way, you're going to watch him fight. What you got for me, Michael?
Yeah, do you think this is a more interesting storyline than if we were going to get Whitaker Adesanya 3? Do you think this is good for UFC that Dricus du Plessis won and we could get this kind of storyline in this heated feud instead of that third Whitaker fight?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think if there's anything that Israel's a businessman. If you guys don't know that, whether you hate him or love him, he's being watched. From him having some shitty ass fights. Like, I think he had like 3 shitty ass fights with Romero, Cannonier, and I forget one more. It was just like lame as hell. Oh, and Marvin Vettori. But it also takes 2 partners to kind of tangle too. So you can't pinpoint a lot of that stuff on him unless he's got to take a little more chances. But he finally kind of had his breakthrough with those 2 fights with Pereira. So again, a lot of how you are seen through the public eye is how is it that you fought in your last fight. You will forget all those legendary fights that somebody has. You will always be remembered unless you retire, according to your last fight. So what was your question again? I totally forgot.
Yeah, so do you think this is a happy accident for UFC to get this fresh feud, even if it's controversial, instead of getting that third Whitaker Adesanya fight?
Yeah, of course, man. I think this is a great. I think it's a great matchup. I think it's always important for the UFC to draw fresh blood. There comes a point where you could be beloved where with George St. Pierre, where you never want him to lose, or Randy Couture. Remember that Randy Couture era when he was fighting. But when you get fresh blood to come in, and especially, and I hate to say this, guy, but even when there's race involved, it does change a little bit. I mean, think of would a, you know what I mean? Would Conor McGregor be that famous if he was I don't know, another color? You know, let's call a spade a spade. You know, it does help. You know what I'm saying? Because we do live in a world where, you know, there's prejudice, there's racism and whatnot. So, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're good looking white guy. I mean, I want to say it could help. You know, as a Mexican American, I want to say it could help. I want to say that it's helped in the past. I'm not saying that that's the only part that's it. But if you're a good looking guy, you can fight and you can win and you can smack talk. Man, that's great. So I think if Israel Adesanya is gonna pass the baton to somebody, if he's gonna lose for the UFC, it would be somebody like Du Plessis. It would be somebody that's kind of becoming the heel, but then yet likable. And the cool thing about all of this is the heel, you could easily become a good guy. Do you guys remember when Conor McGregor fought Cowboy Cerrone? You guys remember how Conor McGregor went from him doing blow and throwing things into to you know, throwing dollars into a van, you know, going to prison, being accused of rape, you know what I'm saying? Like punching that man at the bar, to eventually playing that role, coming in with the suit, picking the right opponent, shaking Cowboy's hand. You know what I'm saying? You say, "Hey, mate, is there anything that I could do for you?" And then people buying into it. So he became a good guy. There's things to be said about something like that. You can go from the hill, you can go from the king of cringe to being likable. It all depends. Because remember, you guys, there's an entertainment side of the entertainment, and I think there's a lot to learn from the WWE. You can go from Hulk Hogan to Hollywood Hogan to back to Hulk Hogan and be the people's champ. So a lot of things, you know. So again, if there's one guy that the UFC could pass the baton to, as of right now at 185 pounds, before Bo Nickel gets there, it is Du Plessis.